What I would really want people to get out of this documentary is to take time and feel themselves and listen to their heart and get to hear it say what it is for them that really makes them happy, that makes their heart dance.
In a world with so much division and focus on what separates us, I think this is a story that brings people together. It's a human story that speaks to everyone, and I hope anyone else watching the film is inspired by Gitonga as much as I was, still am, and forever will be.
The world needs more positive stories, of more beautiful stories, of more cooperation. And I think this is our small part. One of our heroes here, Wangari Maathai, talked over a hummingbird. There was a fire and the other animals were just looking as the forest was getting burnt, and the bird decided to go to the water body just to pick as little water as it could get and try to put out the fire. And when the other animals saw they asked the bird, "What are you doing? Your little beak cannot put out a forest fire." And the bird replied that it was doing something. I think this is our own hummingbird moment. It's probably just a small drop into the way of unity of the world, but it is something. And for me, that's important. That is key. A dream is so nagging. It's so nagging. Sometimes it dies off and the heart kind of forgets. But I think sometimes it will always remind you that we needed to do this. Society expects you to follow a very strict, certain way of life. And then at some point you just realize that it can be edited, it can be cut, and draft something else for yourself. The reason I'm on Everest now is to train to go and summit Everest come year 2022. But the message I really wanted to send here is that with determination, driven by passion, you can achieve what you really want.
There's no reason why Kenya should not put its flag there on top of Mount Everest. I mean, we conquer the world in sports. We need to actually go and say, okay, we are done here. Get us another mountain.
Yeah? Okay, I'm not testing. Not you. Not you. All right. Draw me then.
No, you can't draw. You have to stay over there so that you can test a crocodile. You shouldn't draw somebody. You should test them from over there.
Okay, let's move.
Everyone has dreams. Mine is to climb Mount Everest.
How are you feeling about the flight, Bish?
Pretty confident, man.
You confident?
Are you sure?
Let me start by saying I am a firm believer of letting things happen. I meet Joe and his best friend Vish in Nepal, Kathmandu airport, and we hit it up. And somehow the conversation comes to how come I'm here and there's no Kenyan who have done Everest. And later that evening, they approached me and they told me about this idea of filming my journey. So they had not planned to film this whole thing.
So just setting up the camera in a slightly unconventional fashion. Okay, so camera rolling.
Okay. My name is Gitonga Wandai from Kenya. I'm 34-year-old, a father of one son, Wandai Gitonga, and happy to be here at the Everest region. It's a dream come true. I want to climb Everest to inspire a new generation of Kenyans who may not think that going up Everest is possible. This is also a message to my son that whatever he wishes for himself, it is possible. And for Kenya, and for every Kenyan too. For whatever they aspire to do, it is possible for them. I think we have put so much certainties in our life that we have left nothing for surprise. Go through school, get a job, accumulate wealth, buy a house, buy a car, get married, get children, grow old. For me, that defines exactly what life is, because life is not certain. It's us humans who try to make it certain. It's not certain at all.
You got your pass?
Oh, I got my pass. Now I can walk with confidence. Everyone wants to be happy. How we get that is totally different thing. Back home, especially with my hiking buddies, we have talked of this journey for a long time, I think since 2013, and we kept talking about how can we do this, what can we do to get there. I had to sell my sweet vehicle to finance my journey here. You can view for the first time in the track.
But in 2020...
But into 2022, aim for the top. Cool. Happy to be here. I need a hug.
Arĩa marĩa Nairobi arĩa marehirwo Nairobi matokire gũthurana this time round twĩka kura icio.
So this is the home of Gitonga Wandai.
Yes, this is home now. Karibu nyumbani.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is where now I grew up. This home. This is where from birth to where I am. This is home. I don't even know when the word Everest was first mentioned to me. It's really quite recent. We used to see Mount Kenya from the road. Even then, we never thought of it as somewhere you can go and climb. Because for the Gikuyu people, the community here, that was a place of worship. People used to worship looking Mount Kenya. My mom had a great influence on me. My dad passed on when I was very young, and I drew so much from her. Even if I didn't grow up with my dad, she never made me feel like I missed it, because she constantly, always told me about my dad, and I almost feel like I grew up with him. Wherever he is, he's just watching over me. And so here we have the tea bushes. We just pick in like this, like that, like that. I used to do like 8 kilometers to school and back. So a total of 16 kilometers each day.
Wow.
To school.
So would you say that this is where inadvertently the love for hiking...
Without knowing, probably, this is where the love for hiking started. Yeah, because going to school, I never knew what hiking is. Yeah, hiking is an acquired taste, I would say. Yeah, but it's something now, something big to me right now.
He was one of those boys who could do things courageously. They used to sing in the church with my son and daughters. There was a time he tried to drive when he didn't know how to drive. He had wounds all over his body. And living with the aunt. So he take risks. And I think the risk will take him high.
As I grew up, I was never really involved in any game, and I always felt, how come I don't have something like really calls me into something? But when I joined college, I did my first trek, and I felt like I was home. It is like I have found something for me. One of the earlier days of my hiking, this is one of the places we used to come when I was in college. Those days we could only spot a few manyatas here and there for the Maasai, and it was incredible. But even now it's still beautiful. Coming here, seeing where the spirit of the mountain was born, amazing. And it's also one of the best places to come and see the day end. See the sun go home. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now Everest is in full view. We can be able to separate the peaks. Amadabla, Lhotse, Everest, and Lobuche. The aim here is to get to Everest Base Camp, and to do this you need a minimum of 12 days. It's like internalizing the dream to see Everest, and then it will be able to excite me into the future. We are like 30 minutes to our lunch point, which is by the river down here.
And then after lunch, we have like a 3-hour trek up to Tengaboch. It's a bit foggy, but I think you can be able to see some tea houses above the ridge.
This is like a never-ending staircase. So our assistant director, our assistant director, interviewer, mic man, sound man, struggling at the moment. This is what he's achieved so far. If you look down there, Vish, how do you feel?
Terrible.
Gitonga, what do you think about this?
It's terrible. No, I think it's pretty much normal, especially for a new trekker. And this bit of the trek is a bit steep, so it's expected. But the boy will be good. Amaniaje. Following that thing that makes you feel happy, I think it's one of the most beautiful experiences a human being can have, because you feel at home with yourself. Your heart, your mind, everything just is aligned. For me, I'm on this side of the positive.
Yeah, that's true.
But let me say this. This is not one of the easiest things to do in life. Following your heart is the most revolutionary thing that you can ever do, because it alters everything.
And action.
Today, I'm going to eat breakfast. The breakfast is tea and bread. Imagine a girl is a boss.
I know.
Oh yeah, I forgot anything. Anyone can be anything.
Yep, exactly.
A carpenter can be a girl or a boy.
Awesome.
Also everything. Also a cameraman can be a girl or a boy. A reader can be a girl or a boy.
Exactly.
Especially everyone can be anything.
Wandai coming into my life was one of the most amazing things that ever happened to me. I became a father. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. At some point in my life, I had a separation with the mother, and I think at that point is when we became really close together. We started camping together, going for bike rides together, and other adventure stuff.
Baby Pumbas! Please stop.
Yeah, we're stopping. We're stopping. They're breastfeeding. Can you see that? Yeah?
Yes, there's one over there.
The divorce was a real setback in my life and really got me thinking about life itself as a whole. And at that point, I'd stopped hiking for some like three and a half years. I had gotten married and a baby had come, and I was feeling like I was following that path of which society has said you should follow.
Long time.
So this is my friend Kirwa. We used to work with him. We worked for like 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. I was in monitoring and evaluation. We used to drive all over the rift of Kenya, from the end of Masai Mara all the way to Lodwar on the other end of Kenya, at the border of Sudan. So we did a lot together.
And what were you guys doing in the Mara?
Yeah, so we had a health project that we were monitoring there, distribution of mosquito nets stuck here. I was constantly earning more, buying more, but I was not getting that satisfaction. And it was not easy. It was discomfort at work, it was discomfort at home, it was discomfort everywhere. It was this shadow of myself. Much of what happens around us is to quiet the voice of the heart. Much of what happens, the mind is always fed by what is around us and what you keep being told. But the heart has a different kind of a source. It's like it has its roots in the soul of the world. It feeds you. I just dropped everything. I took Wandai to the grandma, and I didn't tell anyone that I was not reporting at work. And I went and climbed Mount Everest. And that is the time I felt like this is just the place you need to be. I think in life those moments will come in one way or another. Sometimes we ignore them by changing maybe the environment or what, but a dream is so nagging. It's so nagging.
Yellow means sun. Yes. Blue means sky. And red is fire. And green is
Red is
fire. Fire, yeah. Right? Yes.
One if not have camping, so emergency.
We are here at a place owned by one of Nepal's greatest sons, Pawang Shefa, who did the first winter summit in 1983. So it has been a very exciting time having conversations with him around the fire.
So what would you say to someone who wants to go to summit Everest?
Yeah. So if you like dry Everest climbing, spring is more easy.
Yeah.
Autumn season is before October. Summit is good. You need acclimatization. You need oxygen.
Okay.
You need good helper Sherpa.
Okay.
And Sherpa bring up an oxygen.
Okay.
And you checking together.
When he told me I'm going to climb the biggest mountain, I want to say, does this brother know? Is he taking enough care of himself?
Honestly, I still don't believe he went for it. But I mean, even the explorers of the ones that we read in history must have been made from the same code that you can't just wake up one day and just follow your heart.
So Gitonga, are you actually ironing your tracksuit bottoms?
They do look good for the camera, man.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Someone ironing tracksuit bottoms.
Perfect.
So we are heading to Gikomba, the second-hand market, to check out where I acquire my gear for hiking. Yeah. So we're just about to take a matatu.
And what's a matatu?
The public transport means.
You're going to take that one?
Yeah. So he's also showing me from home, from his home. This is the view of the mountain, yeah, of Kilimanjaro.
And how many times have you been there?
He has never been.
But how many times have you been?
Oh, I have been there 4 times.
4 times.
4 times.
Why most Kenyans don't trek? I think it's not a priority. It's not like it's something at the top of their list. It's not something cool to do. I think if we portrayed it as something cool to do, it will excite more Kenyans into coming into this and to appreciate the natural resources, like the forest, the environment, and have an attachment between the water that runs out of their tap and the forest. But my son, Wandai, is really excited. His first trek was when he was 3.5 years old, and it has been a really good time, especially when you're out there with him.
Welcome home, Joe. Here we have the office, the Hike Maniac office. This is where I work from. It's also my bedroom. Yeah, when I made this sign after I told him I'm not doing the work that I used to do in Nakuru. So when I told him this would be the office, he told me, then we need to make a sign for the office. And this is what he did. And so welcome. And I always ask when I go to Mount Kenya, why can I come? And the first time I asked the kids in his class, they have a dream. He said he wants to be a hiker. And I just smile because probably right now he's so much excited about it. But if he keeps listening to his heart will lead him to what he really wants to do.
I want to see.
For me, I feel like every time I follow what I feel in, even if I'm telling Wandai also to follow his dreams, he can see it in myself, living that dream.
How's it going this morning, Gitonga?
In a crazy morning, but we are good.
Yeah.
Our guys kept time, and I think we are on time to go where we are going. Yeah.
And where are we going?
We are halfway. We are halfway to Geta, where we are starting. Yeah.
And we're climbing which mountain?
We are climbing Rorimeria Hill in the Aberdares.
Gitonga chose to tread that path that is less trodden on. But what he has done is, in his focus to do his Everest, he's gotten the rest of us out of our houses and into healthier lifestyles. He's actually made hiking popular with people whom you'd never think would show up for another hike.
You find the old, the young, it doesn't depend on their tribe or race. When you're with Gitonga, it's just, you just belong.
Yeah, we're starting, and it's a long one. It will take between 8 and 10 hours, but we are psyched for it and ready. Yeah, so yeah, an exciting day today.
I have always felt like I should work and save money and then climb the mountain. But the feeling was, the mountain was saying, you don't believe in us enough.
I met Gitonga when he was starting the group, the Hike Maniac group. At that point, it was quite a very new thing in Kenya. It is through the passion that Gitonga had that really encouraged me.
So what do you guys think of Gitonga's attempt to climb Everest in 2022?
It's crazy and just off the usual, but we really want him to do it and wish him the best. Yeah.
He's my mentor in hiking. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I don't think a month would go without me trying to experience a new mountain.
Even before Hike Mania, I used to hike. But then I would always ask myself, why do you feel so much inclined or so much? Always you feel like you're being called back to the trails over and over again. And I realized there was one thing so special about hiking. When you're hiking, there's always that moment everyone just goes quiet. It's like they are retreating into themselves. And in that moment, they're able to feel themselves. They're able to feel every pain. They're able to feel the pleasure. They're able to feel the sounds, the birds. They're able to feel the smells of the flowers. They're able to smell the barks of the trees, of the rain falling down on the sand. You're at that moment, it's like your body just opens up and you're able to feel almost everything around you. It's like your body is so clear, it's so penetrative as you walk. It's a beautiful experience. Hiking, and that's what hiking has been for me. That's why I go over and over again. That's what replenishes me, refreshes me.
Is the jam still frozen?
Yeah, frozen jam.
So the next one is Mahalangur. And Everest small tank.
And the Everest is a small top.
Yes, and then Nipse.
And then
Nipse.
how big, how high is Nipse?
Nipse 7,700.
We have just arrived at Gorakshep, and this is where we launch our final bid to Everest Base Camp. We are at 5105 meters above sea level, and the time of the day is 10:20 a.m. Yeah, so we are psyched up. This is the final push, and we are here and very much excited.
Zero? Okay.
Yeah, here. Finally here. Finally here. This is it. This is it.
That's why women also
It is not really conquering. Mountains, like we said, never leave. They are there, they don't get conquered. It is conquering yourselves, like how far can you push yourself? And maybe when he does it and he actually does get there, then the other Kenyans can think, hey, one guy made it there, why can't we?
May Everest love Gitonga. May the love bring, may he bring the love to Kenya. Yes.
The dream of going up Everest had been born. And so for me, I was feeling like I just needed to go and see Everest. And probably from there, the flames that rise within me would be fun. And I would have sent a message to the universe that this is really where I want to be. I told my friends in the January of 2016, if I don't have put enough money away together for me to do the base camp trip, I'll sell my small car and do this. And so, again, even when the sale happened, the fear also came in. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to put the only money that you really have for a trip that you don't even know it will bring? There are so many fears, but then again, I just decided, if you never do this, you never forgive yourself. One of my proudest moments is taking the step forward and holding on to my dream. And I'll combine this with being a father. Because for me, I can only be the best father to my son if I am the best form of myself. For me, hiking and being in the mountain has brought, I feel, like the best in me. And when I say hiking, I don't mean that everyone should come flocking into hiking. I mean that somebody to find their own space and feel good in it and do whatever the thing that they love to do and do it well. That's the highest a human being can get for me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Dream come true, man. A dream come true. I don't know what to say. First step. And if you can see it, a bit of it, the black rock, the extreme end there, that's Everest. And yes, 2022, we are heading there. We are heading there.
That were called following the nullification of President Kenyatta's win by the Supreme Court.
Thus, the IEBC, in keeping with its mandate, must, without any further delay, undertake the fresh elections. Kenyans expect nothing more and nothing less from them.
Meanwhile, 25 billion shillings.
It gives you optimism, because this is the kind of spirit that we need as a country. Someone who will galvanize you from your different backgrounds. It doesn't matter your tribe, your ethnicity.
If he does make it up that mountain, he will be representative of every Kenyan.
He's already a legend. He doesn't have to get to Everest for him to be a legend.
Yeah,
he already has a community of people who follow him and who want to go to the hiking because of him. And he has changed lives. He has brought happiness and togetherness. And so, for me, I think those are the characteristics of a legend.
So this cup is 5,400.
How tall is Kilimanjaro?
Kilimanjaro is 5'8". So the base camp is like the top of Kilimanjaro.
So please define for us what you consider an achievement.
What I consider an achievement? I will tell Joe, because I think the most courageous thing someone can do in life is to set out to do the things they love to do. And for me, I think that has been my greatest achievement. The tasty leaves.
Our toothbrush bush.
The rhino shouted,
Go away. Are you looking for trouble?
I'm really excited as I'm scared of it. It's a dream that began a few years ago, of inspiring, of making my own son proud, and making him believe that whatever he wishes for himself, he should believe in it and reach for it, and go for it, and that a nation, a generation of this country will be inspired to also reach their own dreams and do that thing that makes them happy. So 2022 is not really like a Gitonga project. It's bringing everyone on board and telling them whatever that makes you dance, that is Everest 22 for you. That is Everest 22 for you. This is the morning of summiting Kalapata, and this is the point where you get the best views of Everest. It's really cold, and the body fatigued. There's nothing like this in the world. You cannot replace this experience with anything else at all. At all. That's just it. Woo! He did it. Amazing. Amazing. Good stuff, Joe. My feet are so cold. Fingers are blue. My hands are off, man. It's nothing. Go to the top. Okay.
Home stretch, Gitonga.
Yeah. Oh, getting home. Look like it's home now. Almost there. Almost there. The journey is done. 116 kilometers after. Here we are. Back to Luko.
Let me tell you that these 12 days are the best days of my life. Getting to base camp, for me, it has been amazing, and sharing that with my fellow Kenyans back home and the Hike Maniac family and with my family at home and with my son, it has been the most amazing experience telling them I got there. And then summiting the following day to Karapata, the best view of the Everest. The dream was just right there. Looking at it, and more real than it has ever been. And that was like the greatest feeling ever. Just standing there and looking towards the mountain and the peak, slightly burnt by the sun. Amazing.
Even now, we really cannot tell why we are here as human beings. You cannot say you're born to come here, get a job. Then what? What is life itself? If you go deep into those kind of thinking, you realize the only meaning to give to life is to live it, and to live it well. And to live life well is to always listen to your heart. Because the heart is never wrong.